I'm Larry Williamson, CEO of Agriculture for Life. We're on the road again for our summer farm road trip, and our stop is at Lakeland College, and we're visiting today with Jeff Brown. Thank you for having us.
No, thanks for coming.
Absolutely. We're super excited. The Ag for Life team has been traveling throughout Alberta to learn more and to meet Alberta producers and understand agriculture from sort of past, present, and future. And I think Lakeland College plays a role in all of that when it comes to Alberta agriculture.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have a rich history and still going strong in agriculture right now.
So, history lesson. We're in the, which building is this? It's a new building.
Yeah, this is a brand new building. It's called the Agriculture Technology Center. So this was actually created, the building has been existing for quite a while, okay. But it actually originated in ag. It was one of our cold storage buildings for our farm equipment originally. And then actually it was served, they renovated it for our welding program when we redid one of their buildings. Then it was kind of the home of the street rod technology program, and then we've just recently renovated it now for our new agriculture technology degree. So we get this building back in the School of Agriculture.
Nice. So it's been passed around and recycled and reused.
Yeah, absolutely.
We walked in, it has that new building smell. So
absolutely, yeah. Students are here for in just a little bit, so that won't last long.
Yeah, exactly. So now this program, is this a new program for the college?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, just looking at the trends in agriculture right now, I mean, we've always kind of incorporated agriculture technology in our programming, in our diploma programming for both crop and livestock technology. But I think just with the trends and the emphasis right now on technology and agriculture, we really wanted to dedicate a program to that. So it's going to be our first degree that we'll offer at Lakeland College in the School of Agriculture. So this will actually layer on top of our diploma programming in crop technology, animal science technology, and agribusiness. Any one of those can funnel into this degree program and stay on campus to complete their degree. Oh
wow! So and is this the first semester?
Yeah, starting in just a few weeks. Yeah,
oh, exciting!
It'll be the first intake. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are some examples? Like what am I going to learn when I register for this program?
Yeah, well, I think that generally, I think our basis of this is we wanted the students to have a strong foundation in production agriculture, and that's where the diploma programming fits in. I think we do a really good job on that side. So they enter in year 3 of their degree, and that's really when they're going to start layering on the technology aspects of it. I think when we were first looking at development of the technology side, my colleague Josie Van Lent it's under her leadership, and we had a lot of discussions on how we could layer the technology on top of production in order to get that full package. It seems like sometimes right now we have technology experts that really don't know about farm production, for example. And then we've got a lot of people in farm production, just excellent specialists in agriculture production that are missing that technology piece, right? So the whole idea is to try to bring those two together with students with a strong production background, layer the technology in year 3, and then year 4 is actually a practicum year, so they'll be out actually in industry working with industry partners on tech issues that are emerging. So.
Oh, interesting. And I was going to ask you in the development, so when you're brainstorming the program, did you work and collaborate a bit with industry to see what the needs were and sort of forecasting where we're going?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, we had a consultant, Rob Davies, did a lot of work for us in the industry. He's very strong connections to industry, and a very extensive industry review was done before we even started, so we can kind of understand what components were going to be important for that program, and then also what the employment needs were going to be, who our partners could be, all of those sorts of things. So feeling very well supported by industry on this. I mean, it's technology is one of those areas that everybody is excited for us to be starting to train in this area. I know when we were first thinking about who was going to be able to instruct the program, we were starting to look around and say, there's really not a lot of instructors really with that expertise,
right.
Which just really speaks to the industry need. I think in the past we used to have a lot of agricultural engineering programs in Western Canada, and really a lot of those programs shut down over the last 20 years. So to me, this is kind of a revamped ag engineering program where we're really looking at the technology aspects of agriculture, which are just exploding right now, and it's going to be so important for agriculture production in the future.
Absolutely. So talk a little bit about the other programs, sort of the foundational programs, if you will. I know you've got the crop and the livestock side. So what are students, when they attend the college, what are they entering into?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's been our core business for a long time. So we talk about history. I mean, our college has been around since 1913. It was one of the first demonstration farms that the government of Alberta set up. So over 100 years of ag training. We've got our core production courses in agriculture are agribusiness, crop technology, and animal science technology. Animal science technology is actually divided into 4 majors now. So we've got a beef major, a dairy major, an equine major, and then a livestock major, which would incorporate kind of a breadth of different species on that side. Then we also have our vet tech training. So our animal health technology program is also operating here. We take in 72 students a year in that program to be registered veterinary technicians, and that's out of our new animal health clinic that's on campus here as well. So those would be our foundational programs that we would have started with. We actually have added a few more this year, actually, just because like our enrollments have really exploded over the last 10 years, really. I think the numbers are in 2010, I think we're at about 150 students in the School of Agriculture, and we're well over 500 students now. So it's really cool, right? Because
it is.
Like we've talked about this in industry for a long time, how our farmer population is aging, and who's going to replace these people, and I'm here to tell you, these students are coming and they're interested, and it's really exciting to be in agriculture right now.
Well, in the work we do with Ag for Life, we do a lot around career promotions and sort of building awareness around opportunities for students within the agriculture industry. And a lot of students, I mean, we talk about this, are 2 or 3 generations removed or more from the farm, and people have that stereotype of what farming is or was. And when we have the opportunity to get in front of students and show them the diversity and the tech and the innovation and the science that is agriculture, their eyes are wide open. And it's really neat to hear from you that you're seeing it at the post-secondary level as well, that students are entering the program and they're excited. Do you see, like, what's the typical, I guess, background, if you will, of these students? Are they coming from the farm? Are they coming from the cities? Is it a bit of both? Yeah,
well, we're pretty unique, I think, in our agriculture programming that we still have a really high percentage of students that are coming, from farm backgrounds, or at least small town rural backgrounds, I would say. So, and I want to say probably still 60 to 70% of our students would come from those backgrounds. We are really seeing a lot more students coming from either urban or even international students coming over to join the industry, and that's something we think is really exciting. I think we have something kind of special in Vermilion. It's you can look at Vermilion 2 ways. Number 1, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yes.
Number 2, like the benefit to that is that it really becomes a community on campus when the students come. So that's something that I think is really neat for students that don't have an agriculture background, is they can come and come into one of our diploma programs, for example, and the community kind of forms around them. So they're gonna be networked now with all of these farm kids and people who understand the industry really well. It's one of the biggest challenges our instructors have is trying to teach to a level where you've got some students that maybe have no experience whatsoever, and other students that have been on the farm their whole life. So trying to manage that classroom so that everybody stays engaged and challenged is it's something that we really think a lot about.
Yeah, I can see that. It's funny, this morning you talk about community and Vermilion, and of course we're up traveling, and so we have to have breakfast as a team, and so we had breakfast this morning, and there was a mother and her daughter there. I said, "Oh, are you new college students?" So some of my coworkers are a little younger than I am, and I said to her, "Why, yes, I am."
Of course, yeah.
So thank you for calling that out.
Maybe you made the paper.
And then she kind of said, "No, I meant the others, but whatever, we'll forget about that." But it was the community feel, because we had a smile on our face because we told her, "Oh, we're with Ag for Life and we're going to the college and we're going to learn." Well, then she had come over and she said, "It's the farmer's market today at the lodge, and you should come on over." And we just all smiled, because it was, here we are having breakfast and, coming through town and already welcomed. Yeah, come on over and have a great time. So anyway, I can imagine that the college has that same type of feel. And like you say, whether you think you're in the middle of nowhere or not, you are building that community. And
Yeah.
That's agriculture, right? They'll build those relationships that will last through their lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a very strong club culture on campus. So, and that's very intentional. And in fact, lots of our faculty members will intentionally be leading a club or be involved in different clubs that kind of line up with their interests. That's the extracurricular side. And I think it's really important for student life balance. So, like we allow horses on campus, so you can bring your horse to school with you. And the arena is one of our busiest buildings on campus. It really is. It's kind of our rec center for a lot of students that come in. Active rodeo club and rodeo team on that side, and that building is just busy every night, which to me really speaks to that student life balance. It's really important. I mean, it's a stressful time. Students are coming in and they're 17, 18 years old. And it's just great for them to be able to connect with the community and be able to be doing things in the evening that aren't directly related to schoolwork. I think it really helps our students to be successful and kind of really get included in a group, right? Which is really important.
Yeah, I agree. So tell us a few things that are happening. So what's some, do you have some research that's happening at the college, or sort of what's coming?
We were very fortunate this year. Alberta Agriculture transitioned their beef and their barley programs to Lakeland College. So
Excellent.
we got some really high-profile scientists on board this year, and the applied research side is just really exploding at the moment right now. So it's been really great to see that growth. Of course, it always puts a little bit of stress on. We've got a defined space, and I think in the academic side, we're pretty used to having the whole farm to ourselves. But it's been great because we've been able to really be talking about priorities and learning how to kind of prioritize our facilities the way they should be. And it's really good for the college just in terms of using the space that we have.
Yeah, for sure. So, and bringing in that extra expertise, right?
Absolutely.
To learn on that. So everybody's learning.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that long ago, I think I heard something about bison coming to school.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So we were very fortunate to have a donation from Rita and Armin Mueller, who donated $4 million to the college for the establishment of a bison herd. So it's been kind of a cool thing for us because this of course allows us to expand our land base. There's been a lot of competencies in some of the grassland management and range management that we wanted to kind of step up into. So I think this helps us to do that. There's a lot of ties, whether that be through our environmental sciences department. Our Indigenous students also have a connection on the bison side.
Yeah.
But the thing I probably didn't anticipate was how popular of an option the bison was going to be for a lot of our ag students coming in.
Yeah.
So we had an influx of applications this year that are in the livestock stream of the Animal Science Technology program. We don't know for sure until they actually get here and they kind of declare what their interest level is and what major they want to be in, but we're suspecting that that's actually stimulated some enrollments for us as well, just people interested in that different style of production.
Absolutely. That's really interesting. Yeah. And crystal ball. So, we're moving forward. We know that, we've got this growing population. We've got to feed this population healthy, affordable, accessible food. Where do you see agriculture going? Just more heavy on the tech side, or?
Well, I think there's a few different areas, and one area that we're really kind of focused on. So we actually just started a new program this year, which kind of leverages both our School of Ag Sciences and Environmental Sciences. So we just started a diploma in agriculture sustainability, basically. So, and it's an interesting side. We actually had a program. It wasn't very popular at the time. We think it was maybe a bit ahead of its time. Because at that point, it was really, I think it was a tough sell for a lot of farmers who really viewed that as more rules and regulation. But now when you take a look at the Canadian Roundtable Sustainable Beef, you've got the same thing on the crop side with Canadian Roundtable of Sustainable Crops. And really, if you look at the whole corporate social responsibility that all food businesses are a part of now, looking after those economic, social, and environmental pillars, I think there's going to be a lot of expertise needed to kind of help manage those businesses. So we really thought it was a good time to reintroduce it. We've got just our enrollments being where they're at and the how specific our programming is. We've got a lot of really cool courses that are already existing, so we really were able to kind of put together a program with some really cool courses that involve both agriculture production and the environmental sustainability side, and it's something we're really excited about.
Yeah. And if I was coming back to school, as I was invited this morning at breakfast,
That's right.
that would be a course I would be taking. We see that more and more around, sustainability, whether you call it sustainability, regenerative ag, whatever that term is.
Yeah.
We've got to do more with less and leave things better than, we found them. Yeah. And so how are you going to do that? And I think you touched on it. Corporations, large corporations, are looking for traceability, sustainability, all that good stuff, all those ability words.
Yeah.
And that's going to find its way. It already has. And, it has to be built into the business of agriculture. Because when, whether it's consumers or the companies that are, looking for this story of agriculture, that's built into it. And so I think that's a really smart program that I think a lot of students would be wise to look into.
It is kind of the future. I mean, I think that it's really interesting when you look at the evolution of agriculture programs through the times. I think when I was going to university, that's really long time ago.
It was longer.
That's
longer
right.
than me. Yeah.
They're not mistaking me for a new student at all right now. So, but when I first went into agriculture, I mean, really the focus was on, I was in animal science, and their focus was on husbandry. And at that time, the new innovative thing was we have to get more business competencies into our training. And I think that the ag programs have responded that way, and we've really focused on that in a lot of our production programs. Yeah. But now we're starting to see that that's not going to be good enough, because sometimes that economic pillar is accomplished at the expense of the other two, whether it be social license or environment. So, so if you really think about that, I kind of, tell our students, anybody can manage one of those pillars really well. Right. But the challenge is being able to balance those three priorities and try to come up with the most responsible system you can, or even find ways that you can advance all three pillars at the same time is kind of the holy grail.
Yeah. But, and then throw Mother Nature in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah, as we see this year, right? Yeah. We actually have a really cool model in our production programs. It's called the Student Managed Farm. We have a great partner, New Holland. We just signed on for another 10-year agreement with New Holland. Yeah, it's instrumental, particularly for our crop technology and our ag technology programs. They supply equipment, but the whole idea behind our Student Managed Farm concept is that in the second year of their diploma programming, our students would actually make the business decisions for one of our units on the farm here. So, so that's really where we've kind of incorporated that. That started with the business competencies that we want them to know. We want them to learn how to manage the different risks that are out there inherent in agriculture. So they'll be dealing with the drought and the high feed prices this year. A few years ago, they were dealing with snow on the canola, right?
I know,
and
right?
I mean, those are situations, and you think about that for some of these students we talked about that don't have an agriculture background. They don't understand that, and you can't get that from a textbook.
No.
No. They'll say this is where grain is harvested, and you just assume, well, why wouldn't everybody do that?
Yes. Yeah. Well, doesn't grow here, doesn't work here, didn't get the rain you got. All those variables. Yeah. Right. And a lot of the storytelling, when we talk to consumers or students or teachers, again, understanding that connection back to how food is brought to the table. Yeah. We appreciate what goes into it. And again, through our road trip this summer, we've had some really interesting visits with different farm families in communities throughout the province. And everybody's a little bit different. Everybody does things a little bit different. How long the farm's been in the family, that sort of thing. But there's an entrepreneurial spirit behind everybody's story, and having the background and the foundation that you guys are teaching the students here, I think it is. I mean, it's really important. Yeah,
it's really cool. I kind of mentioned that in the past we've been kind of producing sometimes at the expense of the other pillars, and it's not intentional. It's not ill-natured at all. Sometimes it's reality, and the risks are that for a farm to survive, you're going to have to make some choices sometimes. And I think that's where this student managed farm model really shines, is that our students really start to understand why choices are made sometimes. So this year we've got grain prices were at an all-time high. last year when the last student managed farm team left. So they contracted grain, as many farmers in the area would have contracted grain this year. So this year, of course, we have a drought year.
Yes.
Crop yields are really light. We're not sure if we're going to be able to cover all of our contracts either, right? So that's the same risk that many farmers in the industry would be dealing with, and I think that really gives students an insight that they can take to industry, whether it be an employer or just other farmers that they're networking with, where I think it just gives them another layer of understanding in terms of what the business is all about on that side.
Yeah, it's a good point, because it's about managing, right? One decision affects another decision.
Absolutely.
And, juggling or playing a game of chess or whatever it is, that you want to compare it with. But, having the next generation, these students where they get to experience that in a safer environment, make a few mistakes, learn from those mistakes. I mean, we do that through life, right? But that's a good solid program, which is why I think you've been around for over 100 years. Well, not you, but
Yeah, that's right. Not quite that old.
no, just about, eh? Yeah, but it's a great success story. So again, we thank you for taking the time to have us stop in and learn more about what you guys are doing and the vital role that the college is playing in that next generation of educating, our producers, so we can have some high quality, affordable food, be very proud. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that we love doing. I was mentioning before, our faculty are coming in this year. We're coming off a COVID year where we had students on campus last year, but it was restrictions and masks.
Yes.
And I've never seen our faculty so invigorated and excited to see a group of students coming in. It's going to be, we're hoping to have a great year.
Yes, yeah.
Where maybe we can get a bit more back to normal with some of our social stuff that we'll be doing and events and that sort of thing. And it really is a pleasure kind of educating kind of the farmers of tomorrow, the industry people of tomorrow as well, and being that connection step, I think, is really engaging for our staff and faculty. It's kind of why we all come to work and why everybody is just really lit up by their jobs.
For sure. Well, and it goes with them, right? When the education that you guys are passing on the torch, so to speak, that drives the future of our industry.
Yeah.
So that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that.